Yo, we just people from the north side. Once the Timmy's hit the shore fine. Winter ready on the full ties. Heavy traffic during 4-5. Gotta hustle on your own time. Color people every port side. We just people from the north side.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's your host, your boy, George McKay, back here again. Another Straight Talk Wrestling instant classic, but this time's a little different. This time, I've got a touch of elegance on the show. So please help me welcome Ash By Elegance. How are you?
I'm doing great. What a great, elegant intro. I really appreciate it.
Well, I thought if I'm going to have the head of, the Elegant brand on the show, I've really got to step my intro game up because I know what the personal concierge can do. I have to match that. I have to.
I was going to say, maybe you had a call with my personal concierge to get some tips on how the intro all works out, but you did a great job.
Perfect. Thank you. Let him know that, please, because, he did call me and he read me the riot act pretty good, I'll be honest. So, Ash, I have to ask, it's been a whirlwind couple of months for you. You had that huge, I want to say rivalry of all rivalries with Spitfire, and you and Heather were able to slay that dragon, win those knockouts titles. But just as you got the ball rolling and you're able to separate one nemesis, another nemesis comes into the fold.
I know.
So the inspiration is back after both women stepped away to, grow their families, which is amazing. Now they're back. And right away, at Against All Odds, they made their intentions known. And I got to say, in that video clip, you did not look happy.
No, I was absolutely not happy. It seems like every time we come up and get a victory, no matter what it is, everyone wants to ruin our celebration, whether it be having a new member of the group with Maggie, which is M by Elegance, with her makeover and her beautiful transformation. We can never just have a moment of, celebrating victories and makeovers. It's always ruined. And, the inspiration came back, which again, I have a past and history with them from many years ago. Seeing them come out, knowing everything that I've been through, and they want to interrupt that, I find very disrespectful. And also, nobody wants to be inspired. There's apps for that. You can get daily motivational quotes. Not everybody can be elegant. Let me tell you that. Not everybody can be elegant. Everybody can be inspired, but not everyone can be elegant.
You know what? You're right. I saw, M by Elegance before. And then once the, Elegant brand kind of worked their magic, it was night and day. It was a completely different individual.
I know, that's what you get. It's a progression, and it's, baby steps. But I have motivational apps every single day. All you got to do is click the app and you read an inspirational quote and boom, you feel inspired. But elegance, it takes steps. My personal concierge had to call you and give you some pointers and some tips for the intro. So it's a process.
It is. And you know what's amazing is that wasn't the first time I've ever had to deal with your personal concierge or yourself. See, about a year ago, we were both at Destiny Wrestling and I was the backstage interviewer. And we cut that promo together where, I was supposed to go into your dressing room after the match and you guys weren't happy that I was in the dressing room. Yeah.
Absolutely not. I remember that. I
was doing my job, Ash. I was doing what I was asked to do.
I know, you were covering interviews and stuff like that, but I was just celebrating a victory again off of Jody Threat from Spitfire. It's just like, it's a cycle. Everyone wants to be a part of elegance.
Everybody does. And not everybody can, but I tried today. I figured, what's the best way that I could be elegant? I'm like, I'm going to get my best hat going. I'm going to get my best chain. Right? We're there. We're matching. Yes. It's gold. It's beautiful. I love it. Now,
you're keeping it classy.
I have to ask, with the inspiration making their, they made that signal with the belts around their waist. We know where their intentions lie. And Slammiversary is coming faster than you wouldn't believe. We're almost a month away from Slammiversary, which is my favorite TNA event. So many surprises, so many shocks, so many oh my God moments happen at Slammiversary. What is the Elegant brand doing to prepare for what is going to happen?
Well, just like we always do, we definitely take our appearance very seriously. We are, Heather had to go to Dr. Finkelstein last week to get her teeth right. We are, taking very good care of our skin, getting vitamin D in the sun. I'm actually getting my personal concierge trained in wrestling because we all know what happened. Jody body slammed him. You know. Unfortunately, Jordan Grace tried to get her hands on him as well too. So we're definitely upping our game and as far as wrestling goes. But we're gonna look perfect doing that. The inspiration, they're motivated. They have something in them to come back and try and take those tag team titles, but it's not going to happen because we are definitely more driven, more determined, and there's just so much on the line. With Slammiversary from a year ago, I was up against Jordan Grace. It definitely brought out a side of me that I think the world wasn't expecting. I knew I had it in me. I just knew I had to show up and show out. Did that. Now, fast forward a year, seeing what TNA has done and the growth TNA has, done with the cross promotions, with the partnership of TNA and NXT and WWE, it's amazing. So it's so many eyes are on it. We're going to look great. We're going to deliver, and we're going to walk out of there still, the Knockouts tag team champions. I will say that my personal concierge will be by my side. He has to be. There's no banning him from ringside anymore. He will be there. M by Elegance. She, will have a major role. Trust me, I have all my ducks in a line here.
We know that what's going to be happening in July at Slammiversary. You've got all your ducks in a row, but I do have to ask this. Spitfire can't team anymore. The inspiration is coming for you, but also, there's whispers of possibly some other individuals. Basically, you always have targets on your back when you're a champion in TNA.
Always. So always, 100%.
You have the inspiration pretty much waiting, making their stamp saying Slammiversary, we're coming. But how do you get to Slammiversary with that target on your back consistently all the time?
I mean, preparation is key, and I'm ready for that. I am a veteran in the game. Also Masha has a target on her back as well too. So I have my eyes on capturing the Knockouts world title as well too, not just the tag titles. I want them all. I want our stable to have all the titles. I feel like that would be amazing. It would be awesome for TNA history to have a female faction hold all the titles. So, with that being said, we're always, texting, we're always preparing, we're always on the same page, which I feel as though some teams aren't. They're a little shaky, and there's, some friction in between teams at times, but not the Elegance brand. We are always on point, and we are looking to retain our tag titles, but also I personally want to go after Masha. So with us having a target on her back, I also see targets on others' backs.
Absolutely. And, I always ask this question every time I interview an amazing talent from TNA. It seems like TNA is always that place where everyone goes to reignite that fire and that passion. Now, you've been with TNA for just over 18 months, give or take. And they always say that the passion is reignited when a lot of people step into the TNA landscape. So being in that creatively free environment and being in that environment where you've excelled, and I've seen you excel to a completely different and exciting person to watch, very entertaining. You always were your whole career, but I figure this is the best version of you that we're seeing now. Would you say that statement rings true, that TNA reignites that fire?
100%. I couldn't agree with you more on that. I knew, leaving WWE after 12 years, I had so much more to give. And it was truly amazing to be able to reinvent myself. And, this character that I play is just... It feels refreshing to me. It feels like, I always say R.I.P. Dana Brooke, because it has no comparison to who I am now. I've been able to come out of my shell. I've been able to take girls under my wing and bring them up and help find themselves as well too. And I feel like I'm taken more serious now. I feel like everybody knows what I am capable of. Everybody knows that I have a side of me that, you know, is a character that I can play and soak their teeth into. I love seeing the traction on social media behind me, you know, with my little lines of keeping it classy or calling the lawyers or, you know, everyone's elegant. I love that because it just feels like I have a fan base behind me that still supports me and sees my accomplishments. With that being said, I have gotten, you know, phone calls with Elijah before he had signed with TNA asking how TNA was. With Indy, I've had some deep conversations with Indy as well, too. And I tell them all the time, I'm like, listen to me. If you want to prove yourself, if you want to reinvent yourself, if you feel like you were cut short, TNA is the place to be. And it is, all eyes are on TNA. It's so amazing to see, like I said, people crossing back over into NXT. Elijah went back to NXT. AJ Francis went back to NXT. I went back a year ago at Battleground. And I always say it's like an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend wanting you back because it's like, oh my God, look at them, you know, grow and transition into such an amazing wrestler, performer, and superstar. And that's exactly what TNA does with their talent is they raise the bar and they raise them up.
I couldn't agree with you more. You're 100% right. And isn't it crazy to be in this time period we're in now, being a top talent as you are, seeing the crossing, the sharing of talent? It's nothing short of exciting. That's why I think this Slammiversary is poised to be the most exciting one yet, because we never know who's going to come through that curtain. We really don't.
No, you really don't. You never know. That's why you're always on your toes. You're always like excited to see what music hits, who's coming out. Because again, I mean, a couple weeks ago, I had no idea the Inspiration was going to come back. And again, I've worked with them years ago, knowing that they've had a family. It's truly beautiful to see that, you know, they are mothers, they still have passion to wrestle and come out, and it was really exciting. I have like goosebumps just knowing from where they came from, seeing them, you know, the tag champions at WrestleMania, then at TNA they were dominating, and TNA stepped away and now back, and TNA always, it feels like home. TNA is home. They embrace you, they want to motivate you. Look at Killer Kelly. She came back. She just gave birth, and now she's back after Masha. So it's awesome. You just never know. I'm very excited for July 20th, Slammiversary. It was groundbreaking, and it was an experience a year ago for me, and it's going to be an experience again.
Absolutely. Now, I have to ask this because, you know, I don't think the Elegant brand is done growing. I think it's going to grow. It's already worldwide, but I want it to just be even bigger than it is. I mean, I know you've always got your eyes out for talent. You always want to add elegance to everybody's life. Is there anyone that you're considering or anyone you're looking at? I mean, I guess any woman in the Knockouts division is always on your eye, but is there anyone you may want to bring in? And are we going to
know something? That's a great question. I actually, you know, we do have weekly phone calls about that. Mm-hmm. I would love to expand it into the, you know, male roster and male division as well too. There's some males that can, you know, be very elegant and bring a touch of, you know, sexiness to the Elegant brand.
I like that. You know what? I could see the indie god, Matt Cardona, probably being very elegant. I think that's pretty good.
You know, Frankie.
Frankie's very elegant.
TNA, yeah, very elegant with that scarf. Mm-hmm. I know you would love to be part of the Elegant brand.
I mean, I would love it. I would love. Is this a recruiting process? Or I
have to talk it over with the team, but as long as I know that you would love it, you could submit your resume.
Okay,
not a problem.
I will. I absolutely will. I'll be the most elegant podcaster you've ever seen.
I know. Trust me, you were in my locker room and did a great job with the interview we did before.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I was caught off guard, so
I understand that. And I should next time, next time I'll make sure I clear it with all the proper channels before I just go, dilly-dallying everywhere. I really will.
Not a problem. Your resume will be at the top of the list once I get off this podcast with you.
Yes, I love it. All right, well then, I'm not going to hold you up. My final question. Slammiversary. You're going to defend those titles. and I believe you will retain. That's my prediction. I'm putting a stamp on it now. If you do retain, and Masha gets past Killer, and she's still a champion, or Killer Kelly herself is the champion, she becomes a new champion, will you be dropping your half of the Knockouts tag team division, maybe down to M by Elegance, and will you be chasing that Knockouts championship?
100%. I will put my title in the hands of M. But if I see things a little shaky, I might run in there and grab. I can hold 2 titles.
You could.
I can be the women's tag team champion and the Knockouts world, women's champion as well too. That's not an issue at all. But I do feel like M should have a taste of gold around her waist. And Heather does a great job at holding it too. Seeing where she came from and where she is now is amazing. So I'm very confident in my girls. But if I do feel a little shaky about anything, I might have to come down to ringside and take the reins.
Absolutely. And then, of course, you've got the personal concierge as well, who's always there to make sure everyone stays elegant 24/7.
24/7. No shenanigans at all.
I love it. No shenanigans. No shenanigans. All right. Well, Ash, this has been the most elegant conversation I've ever had. And I want to thank you so much for giving me the time. And before you go, not that anybody really needs to know, but where can they keep up on everything that is elegant?
I am on every social media platform. You can find me @Ashame_Sabera or Ash by Elegance. TikTok, Instagram, X. I still call it Twitter, but TikTok, Instagram, X. Find me. I'm very interactive on all platforms. I love hearing fan feedback and stay elegant, keep it classy.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. And this was my most elegant guest, Ash by Elegance, TNA Wrestling. Don't forget to catch them every Thursday if you're in Canada on Sportsnet, and in the States, everywhere else, you guys already know where to get them. And don't forget, I will link all of her socials in the description below. Peace, love, and wrestling. We'll see you guys next time.
We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Yo, we just people from the north side. Once the Timmy's hit the shore fine. Winter ready on the full ties. Heavy traffic during 4-5. Gotta hustle on your own time. Color people every port side. We just people from the north side.